So last week I uploaded somewhat of a controversial theory. The title itself was enough to make some people very salty, but after checking the comments I saw that the theory was at least divisive. Hey, I'll take it. So seeing that most people ended up liking the video, I decided to work on part 2, which deals with the next important question. Why did Faye confront Thor in Vanaheim? As I'm sure you guys know, if you stick around long enough in Vanaheim, you will eventually reach the crater. Here, as you complete all the side missions, you will uncover the truth behind the frozen lightning bolt. That truth being that Faye and Thor had such a brutal fight that it devastated the entire region. Pretty much imagine a nuke going off. Now, a good reason for why this fight happened can be pinned on the rivalry between Jotun and Aesir. Thor wanted to kill Faye because she was a Jotun, and Faye wanted to kill Thor because he had killed many of her kind. But I want to argue that there was more to this fight than just anger between two tribes of deities. The way Mimir describes Faye in God of War 2018 makes her sound like she was a rebel like Robin Hood, for example.
A giantess warrior who thwarted many an Aesir god's plans, freeing those who they would enslave, feeding those who they would starve, generally making a nuisance of herself in the most noble of ways.
Not someone who could destroy an entire section of a realm. She went from freeing the slaves and feeding the hungry to accidentally killing them in a fit of rage. This is why I say her fight with Thor was more personal. Thor did something so heinous that it led to one of the most kind-hearted Jotuns to snap and cause the deaths of many she swore to protect. But what exactly happened between them? What if, assuming you believe that there's some truth to the theory that they're half-siblings, Thor killed their mother, Fjorgen? This is a theory I've seen many people recently share in my comment sections. But if there's someone who popularized this theory, it would have to be Mike Who, or as he goes by today, DubsMacZ? I don't know. Mike has shared this theory in my comment sections, live fan discussions, I've also seen him talking about it on Reddit, so when I tell you that he popularized the theory, I truly mean it. But when I first heard him talk about it, I didn't think there was enough evidence to say Faye and Fjorgen were related, so I threw the baby with the bathwater. The baby in this theory being Thor's involvement in his mother's death. In God of War 2018, you will find a lore marker called the Rites of Fjorgen. Here we bear witness to the funeral rites of Fjorgen of the Jotnar, goddess of the earth and trees. For her beauty she was seduced, for her love she was betrayed, and for her gift of life her life was claimed. To the summit and across the bridge she shall be borne, where nevermore the thunder may find her. Now, there's two interesting things mentioned in the last sentence. Fjorgen had a very similar funeral as Faye. To the summit and across the bridge she shall be borne. This might have been how every giant chose to go, but we don't know that for a fact. So it's very interesting that both Faye and Fjorgen had the same funeral ceremony. Maybe this was a family tradition that was passed down to Faye. But the other interesting thing here is the possible mention of Thor's involvement in Fjorgen's death, where nevermore the thunder may find her. Atreus even makes a note about it. Even though it's not a flat-out confirmation, with this lore marker I think Corey was quietly letting us know that Thor killed his mother. It's moments like this that truly makes me sad that Santa Monica didn't do a trilogy. Anyway, God of War Ragnarok isn't completely silent on this topic.
What about Fjorgen? Thor's mother was a giant, wasn't she?
Indeed she was. The circumstances of her demise were murky at best, but not sure I can blame Odin for that one. He wasn't the same after.
Here Mimir doesn't exactly tell us how Fjorgen died, but he does say that Odin wasn't the same after. This has led fans like Mike to propose the theory that Fjorgen died as a result of giving birth to Faye and Thor, which is why the lore marker says, for her gift of life, her life was claimed. I really like this theory because it would explain why Odin treats Thor the way that he does. But I just don't see death at childbirth being something that can affect these mythological beings. I mean, I get it, Thor I'm sure was a big baby, but I'm sure Fjorgen could have handled it. Also, the final line, where nevermore the thunder may find her, seems to hint that Thor had some agency in her death. I don't know, maybe it's just me who reads it that way. But yes, I too believe Thor killed his mother, but not as a result of childbirth, but instead as a burst of sudden rage from the thunder god.
Thor, blame me. Me, for what you did to Magni.
Odin's hatred for the giants began almost as soon as he came into existence, yet he fell in love with one of their kind. But imagine how awkward things got at the dinner table when Odin gave Thor Mjolnir with the purpose to exterminate all of Jotunkind. I'm sure this decision resulted in a lot of arguing between Odin and Fjorgen, but I think what she hated the most about the situation was the fact that Odin was making Thor murder his own kind. Fjorgen knew what this could do to Thor's mental stability. This could be why Thor is the only Aesir god that drinks as much as he does. Deep down, he knew what he was doing to the giants was wrong, which I'm sure is something Fjorgen would remind him of every time she had the opportunity. However, one day during one of these motherly talks, Thor had enough, and in a fit of drunken rage, accidentally killed his own mother. Kinda similar to someone else we know. Even though this was only an accident, it didn't stop Odin from blaming Thor for the death of his beloved wife. Word of this must have also reached his half-sister Faye, which is why, for one day, Faye put aside her mission to feed the poor and instead get vengeance for her mother's death, even if it meant the death of many innocent people. After the fight ended, I suspect Faye felt horrible for the destruction she had caused, and from that day on, she chose to, say it with me kids,
We must be better.
I understand that this is a very messy theory. There's important things I left out because unfortunately there's no mention of them, such as when exactly in the timeline did Fjorgen died. We also don't know if Faye and Thor knew they were related. These are tiny details that could either confirm or break the theory. My job with these two videos was to show you that there are some odd things in both games that could be used to make a reasonably-ish theory that Faye and Thor are related. Both have the same hair and eye color. Freya seems to say Faye had gauntlet weapons before owning the Leviathan axe, which are weapons that Thor uses in Norse mythology. Both Faye and Fjorgen's funeral were very similar, and the destruction displayed in Vanaheim indicates that their fight was more personal. There's just too many things about this theory that at least I find interesting. But what do you guys think? Are you sold on the theory that Faye and Thor are related? If you do, let me know in the comments section. And if you don't, you can blame this guy. Go ahead, I give you permission. But in all seriousness, I want to thank all of my awesome members for supporting the channel monthly. People like Vaib Shukla, Jormungandr, Geocrofts, Spartan Steel, Leo Crisis, and Grainman1214, to name a few, are truly the biggest help a YouTuber could ask for. YouTube is not the most reliable place to work at, so having these fans that go the extra mile to support the content truly means the world to me. I would also like to thank all of my awesome subscribers who like and shares my videos. I know it doesn't seem like much, but trust me, it really does help, so please continue to do so. And with that said, thanks for watching, and remember, go forth in the name of Olympus.